Welcome to Learn Law Better. Wondering how to use law school rankings? Want to use them wisely? Stay to the end as I cover the 4 criteria used in law school rankings and some advice on how to leverage the rankings so you can get into the right law school. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy this episode and click the subscribe button and bell if you don't want to miss any future episodes. Hi, this is Bo Bias, and today I want to discuss law school rankings in the United States. The ranking relied on by most law students is published by the U.S. News and World Report. First, I will go through their criteria and then provide you with some advice on how to use this data in making a decision. 1. Quality assessment. 40% of the ranking is based on a law school's perceived quality. Each year, surveys are sent to law school deans, associate deans, professors, practicing attorneys, and judges. They rate a law school on a 5-point scale ranging from marginal to outstanding. Raters can choose not to rank every law school, but even then, it would be nearly impossible to know what is going on in even a few law schools. Also, is a rater basing their score on the law school scholarship, their teaching, bar passage, job placement, or worse, a recent basketball championship or a past negative interaction with an alumnus? Ultimately, this criteria is nothing more than a perception assessment. The elite law schools, Harvard, Yale, Georgetown, etc., remain on the top because they are perceived to be top programs. Lower ranked schools can't really move higher because they are perceived as weak, even when they make significant changes to their programs. And the schools in the middle can move wildly each year depending on who rated them. 2. Selectivity. 25% of the ranking is based on LSAT or GRE scores, undergraduate GPA, and acceptance rate. This measurement is less subjective but fails to take into account undergraduate institution or major. For example, a 3.0 GPA from an MIT engineering major should probably be weighted higher than the 3.96 I received with a social sciences major. Next, there is acceptance rate manipulation. Law schools will request students with lower LSAT scores to apply only to deny them. This increases their ranking, but by giving these students false hope. 3. Placement success. 20% of the score is based on job placement and bar passage. This is the least subjective measure, though there is still some room for manipulation. 4. Faculty resources. 15% of the score is based on the student-to-faculty ratio, expenditures per student, and library resources. Unfortunately, these figures are misleading or irrelevant. For example, a law school might have a 6-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, but at large law schools, you might never have a class with less than 75 students. The reason many law schools can report smaller ratios is because they offer many boutique courses which very few students ever take. As to library resources, who cares about the number of volumes in the library? Most older volumes have been digitized by Google, and then there is interlibrary loan. So this measure helps older law schools with many older books. And student expenditures is practically irrelevant, since it costs more to hire staff in cities like New York. Now, let's discuss how to use the rankings. I suggest that you look at the rankings in 3 different ways. Elite law schools. These are the top 14 national law schools, with Georgetown rounding out the bottom. If you can attend one of these schools, you will have opportunities all over the country. Clusters. Once outside the elite law schools, cluster the rankings. Treat law schools within a certain range as equivalent. As you know, rank varies from year to year, often wildly outside the elite law schools. The reality is that most law schools offer a very similar program of legal education. For schools in the 15 to 50 range, cluster them in groups of 20. For schools 50 to 100, use clusters of 30. For schools below 100, clusters of 50. For example, treat schools 25 to 45 as equivalent, or schools 102 to 150 as equivalent. Regional schools. These are the law schools that are strong in a particular market. For example, if you are going to practice in North Dakota, you would likely find the University of North Dakota to be a better choice than a school that is ranked 40 spots higher. Now let's work through an example using numbers I made up and not tied to any law school. You get accepted to law school number 36, where you pay full tuition. You also get accepted into a regional law school, which is ranked 56, which offers you a 50% tuition discount and is in the market where you want to practice. Now, I know that 20 spots seems like a significant jump to you, but it's not. When you start practicing, almost no one will perceive that these two law schools are different other than alumni. You are probably better off going with the tuition discount. If you enjoyed this material, hit the like button. Also, to avoid missing any future episodes, hit the subscribe and bell buttons. For more resources to help you get ahead, including my blog and newsletter, check out learnlawbetter.com. Thanks for watching.